Welcome to another episode of last week's Comics Today. A couple of things off the bottom before I get into the meat of this. And I'm going to show Grommets. The trade of this has come out, and I loved this series. I'm not going to do a video on this because I've already done videos for each of these single issues. I will show you, however, this. I can't remember what this is called. Some type of plate. But I got this just as a bonus from my local comic shop. They typically go unnamed, but Graham Cracker's Comics, and they are in Illinois, Wisconsin, and California. So I didn't know that this was something the Image did, but apparently it's a thing, and I got that, and I love it. So, if you haven't read Grommets, I'm going to recommend that. Also, I got in the mail this week, this is from a Kickstarter, Atomic Robo. This is the Agents of Change. I don't know if I'm doing a video on this, so I will just quickly say a bunch of characters come back that I haven't seen in a while, and it would have been nice if there were some editor notes to remind this guy, because this is volume 16. It's a long-running series. There's a bunch of characters. There's a bunch of things that I've frankly forgotten. But I did remember some, but reminders would have helped. It was otherwise great, and I recommend Atomic Robo in general. So, the rest of this is all stuff that came out this week. It is 11 issues, I think. Next week, thankfully, is only 3 or 4. So, I'm going to try to be quick again. But we're going to start with Ghost Pepper number 1. I read a PDF of this. I want to say I read a PDF of this a couple of months ago. I think it was a promotional thing, and so I thought I knew this issue pretty well, and then I got it, and I'm like, this seems honestly better than the PDF. So I don't know if, once again, my memory is just poor, or if some sort of changes were made since the PDF came out, but this is an excellent start to a new series. I will bring this up again once I get to pick of the week, because I always mention new number ones. But this is Ludo Lullaby, who most recently was doing the Battle Chasers continuation. So that's possibly where you know this guy. The art is gorgeous, but honestly, the story's pretty well done as well. There's this is kind of a post-apocalyptic world. There's weird robot-ish things and security and food trucks and a bunch of stuff going on, and this weird guy, and there's a giant robot walking around on the moon. Like, it's some crazy ideas. And if you are interested in any of that, then I'm gonna say check it out. Blood and Thunder issue 3. This the solicits for issue 6 just came out, and she is still dealing with this guy. Where is he? Shoots him pretty square in the face. This guy here. That's a bad angle. Should have just started from the beginning. This alien escapee escaped from prison. So this is a chase. It's an attempted arrest. It's a series, honestly, of attempted arrests, none of which go well. This alien guy wrecks a bunch of stuff. She keeps falling. This sort of thing keeps happening. She falls down at one point at this sort of Fifth Element-esque this thing here. So she's chasing after this alien, trying to apprehend him because he is an escaped convict, and then, spoilers, he gets away, but there's a tracking device on him. So I think that's where the next couple of issues are going to go, and she's still dealing with that by issue 6. I don't know how it's going to stretch out that long, but I will find out, because I'm still interested in seeing where this story is going. Phantom Road issue 14, I am unsure how much I want or can say about this. It is deep in the story. I believe there's only one issue left in the arc, and I think I decided yes. It says 4 or 5. It's deep into the story arc at this point, and it would take too long to explain things. So this is what I'm going to say instead. There's these two characters. We've got Hawaiian shirt here, and we've got rolled cuffs. So this guy is essentially Mulder. This guy is essentially Scully. They both do work for the FBI. This guy has been dealing with weird stuff. This whole series of Phantom Road is weird stuff. So this guy is new to the case, new to all of these events, and he's kind of the non-believer, except he's been forced because of this thing into believing some things that he has some personal first-hand experience with. Meanwhile, there are these other guys that wind up kidnapping his daughter, and so there's kind of a standoff ransom thing happening. And things do not go to anyone's plan. And it's great. I've recommended Phantom Road often, and I will continue to do so. This is, like I said, it's near the end of the story arc, and Volume 3, so the collection for this is coming out, I believe, in October. So if you're curious, grab that. I know I'm going to, because this series is fantastic. I love it. This ends tonight, and I honestly can't remember what I read, whether it was the solicitation blurb or preview pages that got me to pick this up. But I do like Jerry Dugan, and Jay Lee, I'm going to say for the last few years, has primarily been doing covers. So I was intrigued by him doing interiors again, and I was not disappointed. This is a very wild book. What I believe is happening is this is a 3-issue series. There are 3 writers listed here, and what seems to be happening is there are 3 interconnected stories. This is primarily about these 2 sisters who get into kind of a bind. But it starts out with them in Las Vegas celebrating the brunette's 21st birthday. So there is drunkenness, there's some sushi, honestly, and then it leads into a bunch of other weird stuff: gunfight, car crash, car chase, a spike strip to someone's face. It's crazy. And it's at this point that we get a glimpse of her, and there are these text boxes that say that's a story for later, and then that's the spike strip to the face. Look at that. And there's another one of this is where it kind of leads. This is the wildness that I was talking about. It is nutty. And there's another one of those elements later. At one point there's this stuff going on, and like, what the hell is that? You'd have to read it to find out, because I'm not going to tell you. But there is another one of those. Tune in next time to see who this person is, and I can't find, I think it's her. So what I think is happening is each issue will be a different focus, and all of it is connected in sort of a crash kind of way. But this issue's wild, and I think it should be read. New Gods issue 8. This is basically, so the New Gods have arrived on Earth. There is kind of a Thanksgiving dinner that happens between the Earth superheroes and New Gods. That's what this thing here is. I had to look up who this guy is, because there was kind of a big deal made about him, and I want to say he's probably the betrayer that gets mentioned. Meanwhile, we've got Terrific and Miss Martian doing a side investigation, and there is this bit of dark side stuff happening as well. This annoyed me. So we've got this panel here talking about a gravitational singularity so powerful nothing escapes it, except turn the page 2 panels later, it's throwing up all kinds of information. And like, go to hell. I hate you so much. Make up your mind. Is it so powerful nothing escapes it? Or is it spewing out information? I hate you so much. Anyway. Essentially what happens at the end of this is Highfather has been devastated by the events of the series so far, and he decides he's no longer going to be Highfather. He wants someone else to take that place, and Orion and Mr. Miracle share an eye glance across the table. who knows what's going to happen there. There is still side stuff going on with DSTLRY and Metron's doing whatever he's doing. And so, like, there's a bunch of threads, but this issue doesn't really do much in general. So, once I get to the end of the series, I'll make a recommendation about the series as a whole. But at this point, this deep into it, because it is a 12-issue series, so we're 2/3 of the way through, and it's been good. I do wish Cagle was drawing everything, and instead he draws some pages, but not others. Got these hard to read things here. Guest artist. So, like, I don't understand why Cagle isn't drawing everything. That's my primary point of confusion. Battle Beast issue 3, and this, it's the last issue. At the end of last issue, Ship tried to kill Battle Beast by leading him into this trap. And so while Battle Beast deals with that, spoilers, it's not his death. But as Battle Beast kills a bunch of aliens in space, the Ship and this other guy have this conversation about how ineffectual the Ship has been, and if the Ship really wants to kill Battle Beast, then he should go to, they should all go to this guy's planet, where the sister of the thing that he fought in issue 1 is there. It's supposed to be stronger than the thing that he fought in issue 1. So that alien guy convinces the Ship, hey, we should go to this other place where there is the strongest known thing that any of us know, and hopefully that will then kill Battle Beast. So by the end of it, that's where they go, and it's great overall. I mean, there's a ton of action, lots of humor. Look at this. I can be so calm easily. They are meanwhile falling out of the sky. It's great. I love it. But something is amiss. They arrive at the planet they're supposed to, and things are not right. Although it's been hundreds of years since that guy's been there, so who knows what changes have happened, and I guess we'll find out in issues to come. But this is great. It continues to be, and I'm loving the series in general. I think now we're getting into annoyances. So Imperial, much like the first issue, and I probably should just give this up in general, but here's my secret hope. That Hickman does something, maybe, well, okay. How do I start this? The premise set forth in issue 1 is interesting. The execution, I thought, was not as good as it should be, because heads of state are acting like absolute idiots, and that continues here, but I hope that in general, something with Marvel Cosmic comes out of this that I am interested in, because at this point, it's a bunch of characters acting like absolute idiots. So the first issue set up some assassinations. It led various factions, space factions, to the Wakandan planet, Wakanda Prime, which I still don't understand. Whatever. So all of these space factions are attacking Wakanda. Wakanda counterattacks, and then a bunch of other shit goes down. And we've got some Hulks fighting Black Panther. And Amadeus Cho is supposed to be smart, except he's not as smart. Whatever. It's almost entirely action when it should in fact be political. And the fact that it's not is the biggest, dumbest thing I don't think I can wrap my brain around. But I don't know. If you like beautifully rendered action, space battles, bunch of ships and lasers and explosions and shit, then this will be fine. But if you want a coherent story, characters acting the way they should, this is not for you. G.I. Joe issue 9 kind of annoyed me more than any other issue in the series thus far, and I've been waiting for Williamson to do this because he's annoyed me in the past with things, but thus far G.I. Joe has been really good. But Raptor showed up at the end of last issue. He's like, Blood wants to meet. He was talking to Baroness at the time, except CoverGirl was also there. So it's a Raptor, CoverGirl, Baroness, enter Blood. Oh, I forgot about this. Blood fight. Because Raptor's like, Blood extends an invitation, and I'm here to take you to him, except Blood is like half a block down the street and just shows up, so what was the point of the invitation? Also, at one point, Raptor says the invitation wasn't a request, it was a demand, and I'm like, no, that is literally what an invitation is. You are an idiot, both of you as a character, and you as a writer. Anyway, so they do wind up getting captured, and we've also got this stuff going on, and there's kind of an explanation given about why Hound is separate from the other Transformers, but also like this goes back to my long-running issue of the G.I. Joe and Transformers series not really being related to one another, because over in Transformers, the entire West Coast, like 2/3 of the country is being evacuated. The entire West Coast is being told to go to Chicago. These guys have a base in the desert, which would absolutely be within that area. No comment. Whatever, dude. Whatever. World's Finest 41 wasn't annoying, but I also don't think that much ultimately happened. We get kind of a chase. We've got a bunch of Bizarro stuff happening, and so it's kind of some scenes that don't really amount to anything. It is well drawn, though. I mean, look at this. Dynamic posing, launching. It's great. So there's some action. There is a little bit of mystery. Art is better than the writing, I will say. And it's a setup. I hope this story goes somewhere. But thus far, like I said, just not that much happens. It's hard to really talk about or recommend so little. But we get to this last page. So we've got Bat Zorro and Bizarro Prime. And you look nice. Absolute Batman issue 10. This was the first comic that I read this week, and it made me hate everything. Now, I'm gonna see this story arc through, so I'm gonna finish the Bane, see where it ultimately leads, because so far, I hate everything. But here's what's going on. Right, so last issue, Batman got the ever-living shit kicked out of him. He got captured. He's in this Arc M prison that he's conducting these experiments, and also we see what's going on with him and Waylon in the past. Waylon was training for a fight against Bibbo. Whatever. It's not going to come back up, I don't think. Anyway, Batman does some really insane shit this issue. But what got me is there's this narration that's happening with a doctor who's observing everything that's happening with Bruce and with Bane. His continued encounters with Bane, where Bane continues to just kick the shit out of him every time. Something happens, and it's not yet revealed what, but he's got this stuff, and it looks a bit like Venom, maybe? But there are a bunch of other references in here. Clayface and Ivy, and we get Dent there, and who else is in here? Langstrom's in here. Got that going on. So there's a bunch of stuff, but the doctor narrates this sequence where she's talking about Bruce using guano to explode a wall. And I got to that and I'm like, where are the bats? Where are the birds? Because guano means something. And this book This issue seems to imply... Oops, something happened there. This issue seems to imply that a doctor would use the word guano to imply human feces, and that is not what the word guano means. So I read the entire issue, and guano is used repeatedly, and I'm just like, where are these birds? Where are these bats? You already have a bat experiment. You've shown us Langstrom. What the hell are you doing? And it's not explained. So I was chatting with the guys, and Wilson said, it's poop. And I'm like, it shouldn't be. A doctor would not use the term guano to imply poop. Also, oh, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. I can't. It's so stupid. It pissed me off so much. It pissed me off, and then I went and I read G.I. Joe, and I'm like, words have meanings. And then I read Imperial, and this pissed me off, and I'm just like, this is a shit start to a week. I hated everything. Lastly, there is Blood Brothers Mother. This is the end of the series. I'm going to say could only have ever ended one way, which is a variety of deaths, abandonment. It is tragedy, I will say. It is beautifully drawn, though. Beautifully painted. Also horrible. This guy's face is falling off. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, I'll say that much. What I want to talk about instead is DSTLRY in general, and how there is very little coming out for the rest of the year. So there is this ad at the back about a collected edition coming soon. I have no idea when, because I've looked ahead on DSTLRY's own website, and the new series that were supposed to start, or even new series that had come out, I think this is all Diamond bankruptcy related, but their small output is diminished even further in the last couple of months and through the rest of the year if their website is to be believed. So when a collection of this is coming, who has any idea? But a series that had started, the Mischief of Magpies, that was supposed to start, I want to say in April or May, is now TBD and possibly pushed to next year. Like, I have no idea what's going on with DSTLRY, but this is a series that came out, and if you can find the individual issues, because who knows when or if the collection is actually coming, then I will recommend grabbing those. It is a well-done Western. It will read much better in a single sitting than over the, I'm going to say, year that it took this to come out, because there were huge gaps between issues. It's well done. It's beautiful. I enjoyed it. I don't know what to say. I enjoyed it. So that is everything that I got this week. None of those are pick of the week. Battle Beast is great. This Ends Tonight is great. Phantom Road is awesome. Ghost Pepper. I think I'm giving you three-way Ghost Pepper, This Ends Tonight, and Phantom Road pick of the week. Ghost Pepper started a new series. I loved it. This Ends Tonight is visual and just storytelling insanity. This, I think, needs to be read by more people. And Phantom Road is just a great single issue. So that is everything that I got, including grommets, from my local comic shop. And if you don't know where yours is, then you can use this URL to find one closest to you. Hopefully, you found something worth reading in here, or if you found something else, let me know about that. But next week should be much smaller, and I can finally finish reading that Savage Sword Valeria story that I still haven't gotten back to. So, thank you for watching.